lads, welcome back to another video. You can see it right now on the top of my head. I got a buzz cut, I'm proud of it, I like it, so stuff what you say in the comments. Do your worst. This one is going to be me ranking my top 3 away days in the SPFL and my worst 3 away days in the SPFL. It's a very simple concept. Obviously it's going to be the best 3 away days in my opinion and the worst 3 away days in my opinion, based on the grounds themselves, my experience being at them, atmospheres, etc, seating arrangements, blah blah blah. I'll get into it all when I'm explaining the individual grounds and why I've placed them where I have. So without further ado, let's wipe this background behind me for the now. I'll just shimmy across to the left for the remainder of this video, bring back the important channel branding just for the sake of it, and now we're ready to go. Starting off with the best 3 away grounds in the SPFL, in my opinion. So, in third place is Forfar Station Park. Now, you'll see a recurring theme in my top 3 because they're all pretty much ones that have terraces still installed in their stadiums. I'm not the biggest fan of fully seated stadiums, not as much as terracing grounds. In general, in my life, I like retro things. I'm a big fan of your whole Super Mario stuff. I've got like PSPs and stuff like that. I still collect that type of stuff, so I'm really into my retro stuff, and that doesn't stop when it comes to my interest in football and which football grounds I like the best. You'll see that, as I said, as a recurring theme in my best grounds. So Forfar is up first. Basically, Forfar's there because their full ground is terracing except for that one stand that I've never actually been in. Obviously it's mainly for the kind of older generation who like to go to the football and sit down rather than stand up, but I've had many good away day at Forfar. It never really seems to be bad weather down there when we go. I think there was maybe once that we did, but we've had a good record at Forfar. It's a good place to go and I really do like it. It's one of the grounds that I will forever want to stay the exact same as it is. I won't want to see it modernised because I just love it the way it is. The terracing, the bit behind the goal, how close you are to the players. Even when you're sitting in the stand, you're right next to the dugouts type thing. You can stand literally right next to the dugouts because the terracing goes right round to them. It's a fantastic ground in my opinion. Obviously, not as fantastic to make it into my top 2, but it's definitely in with a shout of making it in there one day if one of these other grounds changes itself to make it more modernised. However, for just now, Forfar in third place. Second, Brechin City, Glebe Park. Now, Brechin, obviously, it's got the iconic hedge. That does play a big part in why it's actually second place in my list, because I just think it's so iconic and it's something that they can really add that bit of character to the club as a whole and to the stadium. It's a great feature in my opinion, and one that has given them a real sense of reputation within the Scottish game. Another common theme again is obviously the terracing that they do have. They've got that around pretty much half their ground, and then they've got 2 stands. I've been in the stand behind the goal once, and for the rest of the time I've always just stood in the terracing. I really do like it. It's one of those grounds once again where you are very close to the players and all the action that's happening. I just really love that type of atmosphere, and it's a nice clean ground as well with good food on offer, which always helps. And I really do like Brechin. Again, within the Angus area, it seems like it's another reoccurring theme that Angus grounds seem to be one of the best ones on offer. So there you go, Brechin City second in my SPFL away grounds. And finally, you all know what one it is because I've mentioned it so many times on this channel that it is my favourite away ground. It's Ayr United's Somerset Park. I love this for the reasons that it's got full terracing apart from the one stand. Again, a stand that I've never actually been in, and I don't think I will be because I enjoy going to Ayr United away far too much to change my routine of how I experience that day. For the vast majority of times that I've went there, it's probably over 20 now because Dunfermline played them so much when they were in League One. I've ended up standing in behind the goals, and it's a great atmosphere when there's a good section of Dunfermline fans in there from what I've experienced. And also you're close to the players once again. That's another common theme that I do like, that ground where you are close to the action and you almost feel like you're right in amongst it. The food on offer there once again is class, so that's another great aspect to a football ground, and overall I just really like Ayr United as an away day. For me, it isn't really down to the experience outside of the football side of things. Obviously people will rank away grounds and away days in terms of like, is there pubs nearby, etc, etc. I'm no one for that. I just get the bus there or take the car there or whatever and get off and go to the football and come back. So I'm really just rating it on the grounds themselves and how I like them. So obviously everyone will have a different opinion on how they experience away days. If you get the train there, how close is it to the ground, etc, etc. As I said, that doesn't really come into it for me. It's about the grounds themselves and the character and atmospheres within them, and that is the reason why Ayr United is top for me. You're close to the action, there's good food on offer, that's another aspect as I said, and I don't know, it's just something about that terracing atmosphere that I just really love. And as you've seen with the top 3 that I've had, they've all got terracings within them, and mainly when I go, that's where I stand. So now swiftly into my worst 3 SPFL grounds in my experience visiting them as an away supporter. Now in third place, some people aren't going to be too happy with this because I do know a few fans who do follow this channel and do support this team. It's Greenock Morton. Now yes, your stadium is rated very highly by your own fans, etc, etc, but I don't rate it as much at all. I really hate that main stand, I really do. It's cramped. I had a really bad experience it when I was really young. One of my first sort of away days as a Dunfermline fan, we went there, Stephen Bell got injured that day and we were sitting in that main stand and it was freezing cold. The gap between the seats and the seat in front of you is like that. So there's barely any leg room in that stand. So when you get shimmied in there for away fans, it's rubbish. It really is. And there's obviously the pillars involved as well. You kind of get a full view right down the side of the pitch, etc, etc. There's multiple things that I just find wrong with that stand in particular. When you get shoved in the shed bit where the Morton fans are, and then in the corner you'll have away fans, I'm not as big a fan of that either. It's better than the main stand, but I'm still not that big a fan of it because the view is very much blocked when you have to look down the far end, and I don't know, it's just not great for me. But only one great experience away at Morton was when we got put behind the goals when we were going for promotion in the 2010-11 season, and obviously won the league there and the pitch invasion happened, etc, etc. So that is probably the only good side of being an away fan, going to Capello where you can get put behind the goals. But aside from that, Morton isn't a great ground for me, so it goes in at third because I think it's a bit harsh to put it any lower than that. Second place is Dumbarton. Now, I would say Dumbarton Stadium name, but I'm really unsure on what it is because it used to be called like the Your Radio Stadium or something like that, and then it was called the C&G System Stadium, so I don't know the name of it. It'll probably change next week or something like that, so what's the point in saying it now when the information's probably going to be irrelevant in about 2 weeks' time. But as far as the atmosphere when you go to Dumbarton goes, obviously it's just got the one stand, you're really close to the sea, etc, etc. It's not great. It's cold, the atmosphere isn't there because it's got that one stand and you're so far away from the dugout, so you didn't even get that side of the atmosphere. You're relatively far away from the action, you need to almost a wee bit squint your eyes to try and see down the end of the pitch as well. Just all different elements that didn't add up for me. So there you go, Dumbarton in second place. And now first place, delightful Cowdenbeath, Central Park. There's the obvious reasons why Cowdenbeath is in my first place, and you'll all know the reasons why. I'm pretty sure it would be in a lot of your top threes as well. Unfortunately for Cowdenbeath, the atmosphere is just non-existent there because you're just so far away from the action that fans basically can't feel like they're involved in it, I would imagine. When I've been there, there's never really been that great an atmosphere built up, and obviously for Dunfermline it is a Fife derby, so the fact that you're just so far away from everything, it just disconnects you for the whole day. So for that aspect, because you're so far away from it, you need to look through a fence, etc, etc, Cowdenbeath simply has to be my number one for the worst away day in the SPFL. And I'll just shimmy back into the centre for the rest of this video. Bring back my background please. Cheers. But that's it for this video, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like. Comment down below your top 3 SPFL away days and your worst 3 SPFL away days, and I'll reply to as many comments as I can down below. Subscribe for more of this type of content, and until the next video, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.